And record. So hello and welcome to the second 1v1 match. I'm joined by one of my clanmates, Alasdair. If you have been watching my tournament videos, you'll know that he is the one who's made the final match in the from the other side of the bracket. So the winner of this series is the winner of this match is going to play Alasdair in the final. All right, Alasdair, what minute are you on in the recording?
1 minute 45.
Okay, you're like 10 seconds behind me. I'm gonna pause it real quick and go. So we have a Byzantine versus Teuton match. What do you think?
Well, Byzantines is not really the civilization that I often see in the First Nothing games, and it therefore surprises me that Ethan, who is one of the best First Nothing players, went for that civ.
I was very surprised when I saw Byzantines, but I was casting his 2v2 match with Ethan and Amerikaner, and he pretty much wiped out Amerikaner real quick because he had like a 16-some minute imp time. So Byzantines with that bonus they have, they get to imp quickly, and it can be a scary thing. Yes, they have.
I'm looking at the tech tree. They have 33% discount on the Imperial Age, which is quite a lot. But other than that, they don't get any significant civ bonuses, like Teutons do, for example, with the cheaper farms, which allow them to go through the Dark Age much more efficiently.
They do get cheaper trash. Their skirmishers and pikemen are discounted, which is useful in the end game. So Teutons have the better siege. Byzantines do not get siege engineers. Teutons have a full siege workshop with the exception of siege ram. So, in my opinion, Teutons is the better of the two civilizations. They don't get the bonus of getting to Imperial Age faster like the Byzantines do. Okay, I'm seeing I just hit Castle Age. I decided to go for 2 extra town centers for a total of 3. Ethan hits town center about a minute after me. And
What minutes are you at?
11 or 11:20.
20. I'll speed up a little bit.
What are you at?
11:30.
All right, I'll pause for like 10 seconds. I'm on a fast playback speed.
Okay.
All right, go. I'm at 12:25.
The thing is, right. So the thing is, Byzantines don't get heavy scorpions, which come very useful in countering Teutonic knights, and they do get the cheaper trash units, but trash units are not going to work against Teutonic knights.
That is true.
So,
You cannot beat Teutonic Knights with trash. There is not a single trash unit in the game that is good against a Teutonic Knight. So Ethan was my overall pick to win the tournament. Ethan, like you said, is one of the best Forest Nothing players in the clan, if not the best. So I totally expect him to win. I expect him to beat you in the next round. And whenever he beat Bobozo, I was like, yep, that's expected. So Ethan hits Imp at 1640. Most people hit Imp around 20, 21 minutes.
yes, but he is almost 20 villagers behind you.
He has his first onagers out at 18 minutes. which means I'm going to be fighting on the back foot. There's only been 2 games this entire tournament that I've seen where the player who gets cut 2 wins. That was Bobozo as Huns versus Vegeta, and you versus Always whenever he was Slavs. That's the only 2 times in this entire tournament that I have seen the player get cut 2 come back and win. Because fighting from, inside your own base versus fighting from the trail you make with all the production buildings, it's just so hard because you have less production buildings. If they get past you, they're in your eco. So getting to imp 3 minutes faster is a pretty big advantage.
Okay, I see that you have made quite a lot of onagers, 8 onagers, which is not very usual for this stage.
I was later than he was, so I decided I needed to cut as fast as possible. I only wanted to make 6 because I normally put 2 on each number. I get 3. You know what I mean? I put 1, 2, and 3. But you know what I mean? The command grouping 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I put 2 on each grouping, but then I made 8, so I put 2 to a 4th grouping, and I sent them to try to clear spaces for houses and farms to the south of my base. Normally I only make 6, and that's if I get enough resources. So as you can see, I have just barely left my base, and Ethan already has, what was that, 8 production buildings, a couple blacksmiths, bunch of houses. He's got 26 farms to my 20. Now he's at 30 farms. So I will say this: he does not make a he does not make a good-looking economy. He's got farms that are like 4 farms out from his town center with no mill around it. But that stuff doesn't really matter as much whenever the fighting starts.
Right, so you are quite a lot behind in farms, but now I see you are adding them, and now the farm counts are equal, 30 to 30. But you are still almost 30 lumberjacks behind.
Yeah, I do this thing where I anticipate the fight. Oh, that might be the difference right there. I saw him in my fog of war, but he couldn't see me till right now at the 32nd minute. So I was preparing for the fight, like building military, and he was still upgrading or getting his units or building buildings.
So he's making a lot of arbalesters, and I'm frankly not a very big fan of making arbalesters in a first nothing game because they are just too easy to take out with siege onagers. And considering that you have a lot of siege onagers, it might go very, very bad for him.
I'm going to normal playback speed right now. The fighting started. I'm at 35-25. So I have fully upgraded siege onagers. 8 of them still. And yes. There is my siege onagers wiping out half of his arbalists. Yeah, I'm not a fan of making archers on this. I would prefer...
Yeah, because it always goes like that. Siege onagers always take out the arbalesters, no matter how good your macro is. Okay, so he's trying to send elite cataphracts to take out your siege onagers,
which
and he succeeds.
cataphracts have an insane bonus versus infantry, especially with their trample damage. So he does get my siege onagers, but my bombard cannons are still alive. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna knock down his buildings and walk straight into his base. That was my thought.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that 4 bombard cannons will be enough to take out all the elite skirmishers that he is now making. Okay, so you are sending in some extra siege onagers, and I think you should have cleared that forest to the in the lower part of the opening a little bit more, and go
Yeah,
straight towards these elite skirmishers.
yeah, my all of my siege was like stuck there for a solid minute or two. Also, my spam just ran out, and I was like, well, what do I do now?
Right. Yes, you have absolutely no units queued, which is a very dangerous situation.
Oh wow, he has so much queued. He's got 50 farms. I got 37. But I have the better military, I have the better military capability. Even though his skirmishers and arbalists are absolutely just shredding my pikemen.
Yes, makes me wonder why you are attacking stables with your siege onagers when you could just take out all the skirmishers and archers.
Well, I'm a noob. Normally, I just patrol my units, and they saw the building first. See, when he brings his skirmishers up, that's the first thing that my onagers
Yeah,
focus on. And once again, I run out of units, but that's because I was taking my time to build more farmers. So now I'm up to 50 farms. But I'm gonna lose like all of my siege onagers because I was distracted building farms.
on the other hand, you are like 20 lumberjacks ahead, and you have a lot of gold in your bank, while he only has 73 gold in his bank and not so much wood.
So this is the point where you're gonna see him start like trying to send light cav past me and into my economy, which personally I hate. I don't like doing it. I don't like it being done to me. I know sometimes it's necessary. Like, see, he's got one light cav, and I'm like scrambling trying to get some walls up before I can get through, but it gets through.
Yeah, and
Because
now more hussars are going in. Or at
fortunately
least they are trying to get in.
I did get that one piece of a wall up, and while he's trying to run past me with the hussars, he's got siege rams coming in. I stopped my spam because I was focused on getting the hussars down. Fortunately, where he's sending the light or the hussar, I already have halberdiers. So I only see him kill like 2 of my villagers with that hussars, but he's able to push me a good 3 or 4 buildings worth of space back in the gap. He's destroyed like 8 of my barracks.
Yeah, it's a good thing you've made a lot of barracks really close to your base. That allows you to, gives you the chance to defend yourself.
Yes, that's one thing that I normally criticize people for in these videos. I see people making like a total of 8 barracks, and that's all that they make. So I'm trying to build more buildings, but now I've built walls to keep him out of my economy so he can't just run past me anymore. So it took me that much space but to like it was a sacrifice, you know. I had to sacrifice the space in the gap in order to keep my economy safe.
Okay, and now I see you are adding Teutonic Knights, which is my favorite unit in the game, and
Oh yes,
I guess it's about time.
I was keeping them safe in the castle. I was like, all he's using is pikemen and skirmishers. You know what unit is really good versus pikemen and skirmishers? Teutonic Knights. Those are beastly versus those things. They're so expensive, but I haven't seen him use anything that could kill it except for a couple cataphracts. But at this point, he didn't have any cataphracts anymore. So I was like, maybe he doesn't have any cataphracts, and I can get some Teutonic Knights on the field.
Well, they are expensive, but you have 2,300 gold, while he is pretty much out of gold. I don't think he can afford too many cataphracts at this point.
I did just look. He's got 6 queued up and 9 in his castle. So look at that. As soon as I release my Teutonic Knights, look what he lets his cataphracts go.
Yeah, but we still have a lot of halberdiers, and they should be able to take care of these cataphracts.
So there I just lost 2 more barracks, and I've got 2 barracks that are like 500 health or less. Okay, so this is the point where I just rebuilt a lot of my lumber camps because I was running out of wood to sell. Ethan. Okay, he's building 5 stables. He's got a ton of production buildings all throughout his economy. He's got 56 farms. Bombard cannons. I really hate playing against bombard cannons.
Yes, but those bombard cannons have one less range than you, so you have a significant advantage over them. You could take them out without losing a single bombard cannon of yours.
Yes, and that's basically what I did there. I think it's at this point I'm trying to build more production buildings, but all of the villagers that I had on the fighting side of the wall had been killed. So you can see there's like 4 villagers by that lumber camp by one of my barracks, just standing at the wall trying to get through. And it took me a little while to realize why I wasn't getting my buildings built. So I think once that hussar gets shot right there, I'm going to delete a section of that wall and then go build some buildings. Waiting. There we go. Got to rebuild the wall so as not to let them through, and then we're going to go build some more forward buildings, because it's so hard to push if you don't build forward buildings. And as you can see, he's still trying to send hussars through into my economy. or just to drag my military back, because you can see my military keeps trying to run back to catch the hussars that are being sent to the other side.
Yes, but that castle is doing a fairly good job of keeping them out of your economy. Well,
Yeah,
castle and the walls.
that's why I build the castle there, and that's why I build the walls. I get I get really tired of getting raided or people sending stuff to the other side. Ethan's got a ton of skirmishers, and I just flattened half of them. I love flattening units with siege onagers. The only problem is I played a game versus Zenith during the last match, and I lost 1,000 more units than he killed because I killed 1,000 of my own.
Yeah, that is a big problem with siege onagers when the fights get messy, when all the units are mixed up.
And his skirmishers are so cheap, he's just sending them. Like, he's sending his skirmishers to kill my siege onagers, and he's sending his skirmishers to kill my bombard cannons. You really shouldn't have to worry about losing bombard cannons to skirmishers. But when they're so cheap, you can just throw away as many as you want.
Yeah, skirmishers are completely killing your halberdiers. I suppose a few scorpions could have fixed this problem.
I
Because
did.
Teutons do get.
I did research heavy scorpion,
Yes.
but I never made one. I had it there in case I was being like overwhelmed by infantry, but I just didn't think it would be too useful against skirmishers.
Okay, so he's sending siege rams. You are sending capped rams.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Have
try
more
to clear some buildings. Although siege rams are much better than cap rams. I've got 9 bombard cannons. So when you make your siege, does it come out default aggressive or default defensive?
Yeah, always defensive. Sometimes I even put them on the no attack stance because otherwise it happens too often that when I don't pay attention for just a few seconds, for example, I switch to the economy, do something like rebuild my lumber camps, go back to the military, and all of a sudden all my units are wiped out by my siege onagers.
Yeah, that happens. So on the left side, you can see my cap rams have killed a couple buildings, and I'm nearing his economy.
Yes, and he has stables all over his economy, and now he's adding extra barracks on top of his economy. So he's preparing for the fight in his base. He's trying to rebuild archery ranges.
Yeah, he's
But I don't think that's gonna happen with the number of bombard cannons you have waiting around.
So normally I try to wait till it's safe to send my villagers through to build buildings. Ethan doesn't. He's like, I don't care. I'm gonna go build these buildings now. and he got 2 of his barracks up, but I wiped them out real quick. He's got 2 archery ranges up. And then he sends a mass of hussars at my bombard cannons, so I try to micro them back to keep my bombard cannons alive. And then he sends out, what is that? 33 arbalists, 40 skirmishers. So he's mostly holding me off with ranged units because I no longer have siege onagers on the field. But that's when I start making more. So I got 3 onagers coming. And all 4 of the archery ranges he tried to build have been built.
Yeah, but now you are sending siege onagers and he has no cavalry. He doesn't even have any infantry. He only has ranged units, and these siege onagers should be able to deal with the ranged units quite easily.
So it's been a theme that Ethan hasn't had a ton of gold. So what he's doing is he's putting his skirmishers in front, and then he's sending his archers behind, because archers cost gold. So I didn't have enough gold to keep making Teutonic Knights, and bombard cannons, and siege onagers. And whenever I saw all those archers, I was like, well, that's one thing that can kill my Teutonic Knights. And Teutonic Knights are really slow. So I didn't make too many more Teutonic Knights while there were archers on the field. And that was the last of my siege onagers dead. Oh, nope, got one left. Now I have 2,000 wood, 2,000 food, and no gold. I'm broke.
It's kind of funny because, well, he's also kind of broke. He just sold all his wood. He got 1,000 gold, but what I've noticed is you have more than 30 lumberjacks advantage. So in theory, you should have a lot more gold than he does, because he only has 62 lumberjacks.
I should. But this is where, look at his lumber camps and how close they are. Like, he's rebuilding them.
Right.
And then look at my lumber camps. Look at how far my villagers have to walk. Okay, I think this is the point of the game where I was like, where I realized I was having no wood and I needed to rebuild all my lumber camps, because that's like a mile walk. Like, I got no wood. All I have is food. I can't sell anything for gold. So I don't know how long it takes me to realize that I need to rebuild my lumber camps. Because I thought I was going to push in like 5-10 minutes ago. Whenever I had most of those forward buildings down and it was, you know, one last push to get into his economy. That's when I was expecting to win there. But yeah, he held really well. He had enough range units to kill my halberdiers. He kept killing my siege onagers with skirmishers because they're cheap. Oh, I never even saw those hand cannons during the last game. You see the hand cannons?
Yeah, that made me wonder why is he making hand cannons. Normally, I don't really like that unit.
So, hand cannoneers have a big bonus versus infantry. So, at this point, he's knocked down all of the forward buildings that I built, and I'm back to the buildings that I had at the start.
And you have very little resources, and you have no units queued at all.
Now I do.
Okay, now you've killed. Yes. If you look at how much units he has killed, and you are at 180 population limit, he is at his full pop limit. He has 250.
Yeah,
So at this point, you are well behind, and you still haven't rebuilt your lumber camps.
yeah. Like I said, once I start fighting, I tend to overly focus on just the fighting. So that's definitely one thing that I criticize myself for. Like, I know I do it, I just keep forgetting. Oh, and one of the things that I'm doing now is trying to make Teutonic Knights, hoping that I can use them to stem the tide a bit.
Yeah, but I don't see how Teutonic Knights could help you against that many arbalesters. What I would have done at this point is make more siege onagers and perhaps create some heavy scorpions. I think heavy scorpions would have been great there, in combination with the halberdiers.
So I've queued up 2 onagers and some halberdiers, but Ethan's been fighting from max population this whole time, and I'm barely at 200. So the Teutonic Knights did help. I sent Teutonic Knights with the siege onagers, and it made him micro his arbalists back. He had 51 arbalists, and he microed them away so he could keep them safe. This is the point we've all been waiting for. Look at those beautiful lumber camps. The lumber camps have been rebuilt. So Ethan's been playing with 100. What's that?
Go on.
So Ethan's had like 20 villagers less than me this whole time. It's hard to push whenever the other player has such cheap trash.
And there was a beautiful shot by the siege onager. He took out, I think, 7 of his archers.
Yeah.
And now you are taking out a lot of elite skirmishers.
Oh, that shot just took out
shot.
10. In 2 shots, he's down from 52 to 33 arbs. So you can see I have wood again once I rebuilt those lumber camps. There go more of his arbalists. A couple more. So now I have, like, instead of just building from the forward barracks like I was doing, now I start producing from all of them, even the ones that are back near my base. Because I figured just having the units out on the field would be better. Ethan does have wood and food he can sell for gold when needed. Alright, he's at half of his arbalist count because that's why I don't like making archers. A couple shots and bam, all of your arbs are dead. He's sending siege rams. I don't know if that's just supposed to make my halberdiers and onagers shoot at something else for a while. but I don't really like using rams unless I have a pretty clear path to a couple buildings. I send him a nice little in-game message asking him, asking him if the cheap trash is helping him stay alive. And he's, I don't know, focused or something. He doesn't respond.
So you have 7 siege onagers, you have quite a lot of halberdiers, you have money for the halberdiers, and he only has, once again, only ranged units. He's adding some halberdiers, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. He was able to take out 2 of your siege onagers. I think that at this point you should start pushing him. You can take out his arbalesters and skirmishers easily.
Look at that. He's just walking his skirmishers right into the middle of my units. And bam, all my siege onagers go down. I don't know. I feel like my siege onagers are stupid.
Were you trying to micro them, or do you just leave them to deal with it on their own?
A bit of both. Sometimes I leave them on their own. Sometimes I try to micro them.
Okay, so right now you have no siege onagers, and our ballistas are completely killing your halberdiers. And you are not adding any siege, so that's not a great position, really.
Because I was broke. I had just sold all of my wood for gold, so I didn't have any wood to use to make onagers with. Because I use wood for my halberdiers, I use wood for my siege. He's got some bombard cannons out. Luckily, I still have 2 bombard cannons alive, so I focus on his bombard cannons with my bombard cannons. Look at that shot. I just killed like 5 or 6 arbalists with a bombard cannon shot. And then he comes for revenge, takes out my bombard cannons.
He's sending a lot of siege rams in, and currently don't have anything to kill them. And they could easily take out your buildings, and they could take out your siege onagers, because siege rams, I believe, can kill an onager with just 1 shot.
I think siege onagers, it takes 2 shots with a siege ram. I think. That might just be when I play with Celts.
Now you have killed a lot of his arbalesters, and you are back at making a lot of halberdiers. I wonder why he has built 3 monasteries at the bottom of his base. Have you noticed?
I have not noticed at this point, like whenever I was playing yesterday, but I do eventually notice.
He has sent a monk. I wonder why.
Um,
Obviously monk dies.
Maybe he's gonna try to heal his arbalists.
I'm not sure that is a very good idea.
I don't know. I never saw a monk when I was fighting yesterday. I saw 3 monasteries, but I didn't see any monks. Don't Byzantines get like double the healing range? I think that's one of the civ bonuses for the Byzantines. Nope. Nope, not the Byzantines. So once again, all my siege onagers are dead. Half of my barracks are smoking. But now I finally do what you told me I should have done at the beginning of the fight. There's 3 siege onagers at the bottom, clearing more room for buildings. So Ethan can see that I'm cutting there, but I'm only trying to cut so I can build more buildings. Because I'm tired of sending halberdiers from like my base. So I decided to build more. Okay, I hear it. I hear monks healing. Do you know where his monks are?
I see two monks near the battlefield. Okay, now they are dead.
Now they're dead. Okay. Oh, I think I just saw the last one taken out. So I still have cleared space. And I'm trying to build buildings. There we go. There's my villagers.
Okay, so you took out a lot of his ranged units, and now you are advancing with a lot of halberdiers. You still have a decent amount of siege onagers, so right now this is looking quite good for you.
Yeah, but it was looking good for me like 20 minutes ago. And I got pushed the whole way back to my base. Honestly, there was a couple points of this game. Like, I just killed 3 of my own siege onagers with my own siege onagers. There was a couple points of this game where I was like, is this game ever going to end? He sends hussars to kill the 3 onagers I'm using to try to expand in the south. Do you see my cavalier?
Yeah. The thing about Teutonic Cavaliers is they are super slow. They do not get the speed upgrade, so they are not very good for rushing because I believe they move just as fast as halberdiers.
Yeah, so I was like, alright, I'm going to go through that gap between the tree and the house, and then another house went up. I was like, well, I'm not getting them through. I wanted them to raid, repay him for what he did to me earlier in the game. He sent hussars through into my economy, so I thought, okay, maybe I should send some cavaliers because Teutons, interestingly enough, don't even get light cav. They're stuck with scouts.
Yeah, they don't have any fast units at all, so they're not very good for rushing.
So there, I used one of my siege onagers to open a path to those lumberjacks. So this is where I saw his monasteries, and I'm like, is he gonna try to convert my cavalier? What's going on here? He does have Loom. I don't think I ever researched Loom. No, I didn't even research Loom.
Okay, so you are inside his echo, you are killing his farmers, and he has sent arbalesters to kill cavaliers, which is really not a great counter. I don't see any halberdiers going your way right now, which is really unfortunate for him, because your cavaliers are now all over his economy, and this could be the turning point of the game.
And if you see, I've got 11 more cavaliers that are sweeping around killing battering rams. I got my cavaliers killing the siege rams attacking my buildings, and then I see if I can get them through up at the top. If you turn on like my point of view and look at my fog of war, you can see I have a couple units in his base. Yeah, they're being killed, but the more units that I have from him fighting inside his own base, the better it is for me. Because it's going to take like I think it's going to take like 2 halberdiers to kill 1 cavalier. So the more I get into his base, the more he has to bring back to defend.
Yeah, and now he has 54 halberdiers inside his base, and he's pop capped. He has 22 idle villagers. And immediately you started to advance towards his base with your halberdiers and siege onagers. I see that your halberdiers have killed some of the lumberjacks at the bottom of his economy near the monasteries.
Yes, I killed most of those villagers. He did wall off the area that my cavalier ran through at the top, but now he's got, how many is that? 54 halberdiers there, 38. He's got like 100 halberdiers stuck inside of his base right now. So that just
He still has quite fairly good economy. He has 47 farmers while you have 54, so it's not such a huge difference.
No, the only difference is, look at his massive halberdiers. He's got 40, 50 halberdiers stuck above that gate, and he's fighting like 8 of my halberdiers, but they're stuck, so they weren't able to get through.
He should have deleted that archery range. Okay, so now he is queuing up some units, but he is not at his population limit anymore. He has got 8 idle villagers. He has got a bunch of halberdiers standing at his economy. Okay, now they are going towards the front line. Oh, and you have like 5 halberdiers killing his farmers inside his eco. And
oh yeah, I see that. And I decided to send 21 more cavalier inside his base because they yielded such great results the first time.
okay, now he's down to 38 farmers. I see he has some villagers garrisoned inside his town centers, but it really isn't safe. And he has got like 3 villagers inside each town center, and he's losing more farmers.
If I had just sent those cavalier just a little bit further, I missed that big massive 20 farms in the right corner.
In the right corner, and he has rebuilt a lot of farms on top of his economy. Those are horribly placed farms.
Yeah, Ethan.
But he has got a lot of them.
So right now, you can see he has a bunch of resources, but he's only making villagers. He's completely distracted. But now,
And he has lost a lot of houses. His population limit is 230 at this point.
I didn't even know I was killing houses.
I wonder if he has noticed that. Because I don't see him rebuilding any houses.
Do you see his onagers at the bottom?
Yeah, he's cutting. He is cut towards you, but I don't see any military. He just sent one hussar towards your economy, and Okay, now he's sending more hussars, but you have walled that gap.
I did.
And meanwhile,
Well,
and now you are fighting on his territory. You are killing actually. You are killing his farmers again. Still has a lot of farmers. He still has 49 farmers.
so he is spamming hussars and trying to get them through into my economy.
And get through they did. There was a gap between the wall and the forest,
Yeah,
and
but if you
they
look,
are inside it.
they're looping the whole way around,
Yeah, well, they went the wrong way, pretty much.
and by the time they get there, there's two villagers left on the wood line for them to kill.
Yeah, what I don't understand, you are constantly killing his farmers, and his. Oh, never mind. I was looking at your stats. Yeah, he's at 30 farmers at this point. He has no food. He has 30 farmers. He has 22 lumberjacks. Well, you have full echo numbers,
Look at
despite the hussars. Yeah,
he's he's got two hussars on my farms.
yeah. But at this point, you have 15,000 food in your bank, while he has nothing. He has absolutely nothing. He has 24 farmers, and I think the game is pretty much over at this point.
I'm pretty sure my farm numbers drop to like 20 because he gets a bunch of hussars in before I'm able to just completely close off that gap.
Yeah, well, your numbers, uh, your farmers dropped to 32, but look at his economy. He has 8 lumberjacks. He has sold all his. Okay, he added some lumberjacks. He has 35 lumberjacks. Still, that isn't much.
Yeah, okay. I was I was like doing the math, you know. I was like, I feel like I'm doing more damage to him than he is to me. So
Well,
I'm
at
at
this point, he
29
wasn't.
farms. But then if you look at the
uh,
left side of my base, I'm gonna go and build like 30 more farms back. I'm gonna build all my farms that he just destroyed. I got a bunch of halberdiers in the lower gap that he just sent all those hussars through. Okay, he's at 120 population. I have halberdiers raiding his farms in the north. I never found the farms in the south. I got so close with those cavalier, I just never saw it. Yeah, if you look at my fog of war, you can see like one of those farms, but I never went the whole way to see the whole farm. His little farms.
He has a huge echo with a lot of abundant farms, and it's really hard to rate such economy.
I guess that's one benefit of having a bad looking economy. It's a hard. Oh, look, he's building champions. That one made me pause for a second. Like, how is he building champions? But I didn't realize he was building champions with the very, very few resources that he has.
Yeah, he has queued. He has one champion queued, and he has. Well, he's producing villagers out of 5 ton senders, and that's pretty much all he's producing at this point. He really can't afford anything else. He has he hardly has any food. He has no wood, no gold. And you are raiding him again with your cavaliers.
Yeah, I found those were the cavaliers that I made to stop the raid he was sending to me. So then I was like, oh yeah, I have all these cavaliers here. Let's go use them. So I sent them up to the wood line at the north, expecting to find some villagers, and I found a good 20 of his 50 villagers that were alive.
Yeah, and now he's calling it.
Ethan calls GG. That game was long. It was painful. There were two different times that I was like, oh, I should be able to push in and win here. And then he held just from the sheer number of trash he was able to produce.
I was quite surprised that you didn't go for Slavs straight away, because that's your favorite civ, and I thought you would. I thought you would. Well, usually everyone picks them the very first game, but for some reason you went for Teutons. So
Yeah, my reasoning was um, I was expecting to see Saracens or a Bombard Cannon Civ, so I wanted to have a Bombard Cannon Civ to counter it. And in the draft, he left me Teutons, so I was like, hey, let's use Teutons. So if you look at the military, I killed 2,000 more unit or 1,500 more units than he did, and 800 of those were my own. I killed 800 of my own units. I had a smaller army than him. I don't really know how he collected more gold than me. Unless it's because he sold more food and wood, and I was using all of my wood for fighting. He got to Imperial Age 2.5 minutes faster than I did. And he had a total of 17 more villagers than I did. But that was a really good game. You ready for game 2?
yep.
All right, loading in now. So, this is like a normal tournament kind of. Every time a player loses, they get to pick a home map. So, Ethan's home map is TC trees. I'm gonna hit fast playback speed. Actually, I'm
Okay,
gonna hit.
so I'm
What time you on?
30 seconds.
All right, I'm at a minute. I'm gonna pause for a second. Let's go to fastest playback speed.
Fastest, okay.
All right, I'm at 130, 140.
150.
Yep,
2 minutes.
good enough. So with TC trees, this is like the longest Dark Age you're gonna get. Basically, you need to cut room for a house to build the rest of your villagers. You need to then cut around that, delete that house, build a mill, cut around that mill so you can build a farm. Each
If
of
he
us.
was a little bit earlier with the farm than you.
And at this point, I'm bored, so I ask him how he's doing. If I had known he was going to pick this home map, I definitely would have taken Huns. Because I hate building houses on this map.
So he's 2 villagers ahead of you, which is quite a lot, because on this, the way this map works is, by the time you get to the feudal age, you usually have a lot of wood to sell, and the first one to sell all the wood gets a huge advantage.
Yes,
So
and
even the tiniest difference in the Dark Age could make the entire game.
so here's where I messed up. I hit Feudal Age first, but then I went and tried to cut like 7 trees to get my market up. And he got his market up first. And with the Saracen sale bonus.
Oh, he's Saracens. I didn't even notice. Yeah, that is insane, because they get I believe they get 95 gold for the first sale.
It's ridiculous. So I got
So
like
now he
no
is
gold, no food, and he has 800 food.
actually he has 1,200 food.
Yeah, he just honestly, some games like this, whoever gets first sale has such a huge advantage, and this is one of those games, which is why I went 2 farms, 7 villagers. I was trying to get there first, and I did get there first, but I didn't. I was wrong. Instead of cutting around the farm to build my market, I tried building. I tried cutting a whole new 4x4 space. So Ethan hits Castle Age, and I'm at 90 food. I'm nowhere close to Castle Age.
Wait, what time are you? Oh, I had it at normal playback speed. What time are you at?
25, 46.
I'm at 17.
Oh boy. All right,
Can you
I'll switch to normal till
pause
you
it
get
at?
here.
Okay,
I'm at 26.
I'm at 19.
So Ethan and I have about the same villager count at 30, but now he's got 2 town centers. I have more farms than he does, but that doesn't really matter because he's been in Castle Age for like 3 minutes now, and I'm not yet even close to clicking. I'm at 27 minutes.
I'm at 24.
Okay. Let me know when you hit 27:30, and I'm gonna click to fastest.
26.
Okay, so I just sold wood, bought food, and clicked to Castle Age because I was like, at this point, I really need to be in Castle Age.
27:30.
Okay. I'm at 28 and
Yeah.
clicking to fastest. Okay, once Ethan hits imp, I'll go to a normal playback speed, or I'll go to fast instead of fastest. So that's going to be pretty soon because Ethan just built his buildings. Ethan is now on his way to imp. I am lamenting that I don't really know how to play this map very well. Alright, switching to fast playback speed now. 33 minutes. So I just slowed it down a bit. Saracens. They have a full siege workshop minus heavy scorpion. Their market bonus, as you have seen, is huge. The worst you can sell for is 19 at the market, which is 2 more than guilds and 5 more than if you don't get guilds, which is Aztecs. So the amount of resources, the amount of gold you can get from the Saracen market is far more than the Aztec market, which does not get guilds.
Okay, so he's building 4th town center while you have just clicked up Imperial Age. Yes, you have imped, you have a lot of mangoes. He is already on the way towards you. And
And
you
then,
just started cutting.
yeah, he's already halfway to me, and I just started cutting. This is one of those games where I was not expecting to be competitive with how much quicker he got to imp than me. Him being Saracens, I knew I didn't have like a military advantage like he did, like I did on the last game. Ethan's got like
He's
30 farms to my 15. Ethan's at nearly 40 farms. I'm at 25. I'm just
he's
looking.
going in the slightly wrong direction here. So you actually might surprise him, but you will not have units to surprise him with.
So Ethan doesn't know where I am, which is something that kept me alive a little longer. There's just no way that I can win this match. Not well, this game. Game 2. There's no way I'm winning this game. He is way more farms than me. He knows where I am now. He he's making champions. And what unit am I making? Pikemen.
Yeah, and Aztecs don't get halberdiers, do they?
No, they do not.
Yes, so you are in a very big trouble here because he
All right,
has a
I'm gonna
lot of
switch to normal
champions.
playback speed in 3, 2, 1, go. So
47 minutes.
I'm at 47.22.
Right.
47.35.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
So,
he has 35 champions.
and I have 60 something pikemen, which
Yeah,
I was like,
but you did a fairly good job with your onagers. You took out most of his champions. And now you are adding two-handed swordsmen. And now you have champions as well. And they have a much bigger attack than the Saracen champions. He has made siege onagers, fully upgraded siege onagers, while you only have onagers without extra range. And once again, we see arbalists, and he's trying to kill your onagers with arbalesters, and he's succeeding.
he's got like 100 champions queued up. I've got enough resources to make a couple pikemen, and I mean, I didn't realize he only had that many units, but I just gave up. I didn't see a way to win. He had max population, 80 champions queued up. I had what, 30 less villagers.
He was pretty much at your economy, and you had 100 population less than him. Yeah, you had no chance at this point.
Yeah, I
But
didn't think that I was gonna have a chance.
the moment he made the first sale with his Saracen market, that's pretty much where the game was over, in my opinion.
Yeah, I messed up. I should have cut those 4 trees on the other side of that farm instead of trying to cut space for my own market. That was my own fault, and I felt like an idiot. I would have had a fighting chance if I had had first sale.
So why did you go for Aztecs in the first place?
Um, that's what was available to me in the draft. Um, I'm not a big fan of Aztecs to begin with, but I wanted Teutons for the first map, and I wanted Slavs for my home map. So I figured that Aztecs would be the best because I had Aztecs and Mongols. I figured Aztecs would be better than Mongols on the TC trees because they carry more. I just thought it might give me some sort of a chance to win, but Saracen market on TC trees is ridiculous. All right, so game two,
Okay,
yeah,
so game 3, you mean?
yes, game two was bad. I got crushed. All right, and time for game three. Loading in. Are you in? All
Yeah, I'm in.
right, I'm switching to fast now. So most players start this the same way. They cut the three trees at the top left of their base. They build a
Uh,
market and a mill, or a house and a mill. Once you get around 450 wood, you can delete your town center and build three farms if you cut those three trees on the top.
yeah, but I want to talk about the civilizations here. You have finally went for Slavs, who have an insane infantry, insane attack with trash units. They have very cheap siege units. They have siege engineers. They have a decent economy. They don't get guilds, but they get the final lumber camp upgrade, so they have a fairly strong economy, especially considering that they have faster farmers. And he went for Bulgarians, and I wonder if he expected you to go Slavs, because in my opinion Bulgarians is a horrible pick here, because they don't I don't see how they could counter you with how they could counter your trash. They do get siege onagers, but they do not get that one extra range, and they have the full price siege onager. Well, they have full price siege units, while the market is just as weak as the Slavic market. So
Wait,
everywhere you look, you have advantages.
don't Bulgarians get siege engineers? Pretty
I
sure
don't think
Bulgarians
so.
get siege engineers. I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah, they get siege engineers.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's one less advantage. But the faster
But still,
farming bonus.
you have a massive advantage with the cheaper siege, considering that you have same market disadvantage. You both have 14 gold for 100 resources.
And the faster farming bonus gets me to feudal age first. I'm at about 10 minutes. Are you?
No, I'm at 5 minutes. Hang on.
Oh, you didn't switch to faster? Alright.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
So I'm at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Ooh. So if you saw, Ethan, he had 5 farms when I had 4. But because of the Slavic farming bonus, I was able to get the food to get to feudal age first. So this game was kind of a small reversal of last game. I
Yeah,
was able to get
yeah.
first sale.
I'm at 10:30. You?
11:20.
You're at fast speed?
I'm at normal right now. 11:30.
Yeah, I'm 11:50.
All right, I'm at 11:40. 11:45. That's fine. So
And
I'm one
you're at fast
villager.
speed? Or...
Yeah, I'm at fast speed.
Okay, so I'm at fast speed as well at 12:20.
I'm at 12:47, and I'm gonna hit fast again now. 12:50.
Yeah.
So I have a villager and a half to a 2 villager lead over Ethan. I have faster farmers, which is really useful. Ethan just put up his 6th farm, and so did I. So we're essentially neck and neck for everything except for the fact that my farmers are faster. And I had more gold, so I was able to purchase more food. Ethan now is building a market and a blacksmith because he didn't build them when he first got to the feudal age, and I did.
You are
So,
already at the castle age.
so I hit Castle Age as he's clicking to Castle Age, and that moment that he had to take to rebuild his market and his blacksmith, in that moment I go from a 2 villager lead to an 8 villager lead. Because now he's got to build his second town center. He's got to rebuild his houses. He's pop capped. So him not building his buildings when he first got to feudal age results in a 7 or 8 villager lead for me. And any advantage I'll take, especially when I'm playing with Slavs, which, as you said, is my favorite civilization. Their Druzen attack, which gives them trample damage for their infantry, makes them the best infantry. Like barracks units, hands down best infantry versus any other barracks units. They'll beat. Sometimes they even beat samurai. They won't beat Teutonic Knights because Teutonic Knights are just beastly. But any other barracks units, Slavic barracks units, will kill in equal numbers. So Ethan got housed again at 45. So now I have a 9 villager lead. So I have the food, sell the wood, build my buildings, and I'm up to imp. Click to imp at 23 minutes. Ethan got housed again. He's got 48 villagers to my 52. I had to stop building villagers so I would have the resources to research onager as soon as I get to the next age. So Ethan's about to hit imp. He does have the resources for onager. He is, however, housed again. So what do you think about the chances for both players?
Well, I have actually watched this game live, and the very moment I saw the civilizations, I had the sense that it was over for him. I didn't see how he could play with Bulgarians against Slavs. And now you have a lead over him. He's trying to make up for his speed with adding extra town centers. And immediately he's going for barracks and absolutely chaotic farms.
So he builds 2 extra town centers when he gets to imp. But if you look at me, I built 3. And I have all of them producing because I have my Slavic farm bonus. I didn't go for extra farms right away. I went for more houses. He went for farms right away, which is something I normally do. But I knew I got to imp first. So I was like, I have a little bit of time. So I just wanted to be as prepared as possible for when the fighting started. Which is, I mean, look at my barracks. I have them set purposely in that specific way. I want to make it so there's no possible way he can get past me into my economy.
Yeah, and now you are walling.
I'm not a fan of people running past me, which is something I know he's done. He tries to do a lot. All the advantages you can get. I mean, if you can do it, most people will. But he's getting like we're really close to each other, and he's building farms. Like I have 10 barracks, a couple siege workshops. I'm building a castle, and he's still building farms. He does have a
Yeah,
lead
well,
on the
now
number of
he's building
farms.
barracks, but
There's not a lot of space between my production buildings and his first set of farms.
and I just don't see what he could possibly make at his barracks that would counter your Slavic units.
I just researched Druzina. I got my fully upgraded halberdiers out. I have champion researched in case I need it. I'm
And you
researching
have
my.
six siege onagers, but you have no siege engineers yet. Neither does he, though.
I have a seat. Like I just got siege engineers and chemistry just researched.
Yeah, and now he's gonna kill all your halberdiers because you didn't make a wide enough opening.
Yeah, I got a little over eager.
Yeah, he's killing absolutely everything with his siege onagers.
I have
He
15 barracks
has
to
added,
produce from, and
he
he's
has
making
added
16,
he has added heavy scorpions,
which is a very good
and
addition.
yeah, but that addition died almost instantly because you have 12 siege. Oh, okay. You had 12 siege onagers and they all died.
So whenever the fighting started, I went down
What
into
speed
my
are you at?
economy. Oh right, chart. Crap. Normal speed now. I'm at 44 minutes.
I'm 44.27
Same.
normal speed.
I just went to normal speed. 44:32.
Yeah,
So whenever the fighting started, I went down into my economy and built another like 25 farms because I knew 30 wasn't going to be enough. So Ethan's pushing me, and he's pushing pretty well. But like you saw in your game versus always, Slav infantry, even just halberdiers, hold very well with their Druzen attack. All it would take for me to turn this tide is to get a couple siege onagers out and kill all of his siege. If I can take
yeah,
out his siege, then he has nothing that he can fight with. He does not have a
he is
lot of
making
resources.
he is making a lot of siege. Oh, okay, never mind. He got siege engineers.
So he is at 33 farms to my 58. He's pushing. He's killed 4 of my barracks. He's got nothing producing right now because he doesn't have the food. And he's just like kill zoning all of my halberdiers. Um,
And now you have made a bunch of siege onagers, and
I think he took
looks
his
like they are
focus off
going
of
to
his
kill.
siege for a second, and all of
And
his
he
siege
lost
goes
a
down.
lot of. Well, not all. He still has 4 siege onagers and 2 scorpions. Okay,
The,
another one of his siege onagers goes down,
all of the
and
ones that he had in the
another.
line that were attacking me, those ones all went
Yeah,
down.
yeah. At this point, everything is dying for him. He doesn't have much production buildings either. Okay, and you have sent elite boyars, but I don't think you have made any stable upgrades. In fact, I don't think you have any stables at all.
No, I
So they
don't.
are not very fast.
I wasn't expecting them to need to be fast. I thought I could just get through a gap and get into his economy. It didn't work, but it did dragged his military back, so I was able to gain some space. I was able to hit his first like 3 farms, which was really the goal. You know, anything to get a little bit extra space. Now that he's pushed back a little bit, I was able to use my villagers to build the buildings that I wanted to. I was able to push a little bit. He only has 36 farms still, and I'm at 55, so he just doesn't have a ton of food. And if you don't have the food, you can't make a bunch of buildings, or can't make units without the food. Why is he?
Yeah, and you are so.
He's like fighting with villagers. You see that?
I think he's trying. I think he's trying to build barracks.
He just sent like 10, 15 villagers to die.
Yeah, I think he sent them to build the barracks. There's a barracks base, but maybe he wasn't looking at it. I don't know. He is adding more siege. The thing is, you are super close to his echo. In fact, you could just cut that little patch of forest and go straight to his echo, kill his lumberjacks, his farmers.
Must have been an attack ground or something.
Yeah, and now looks like you are going to do that. You are going to open that forest.
Ooh, 3 siege owners down in one shot. I love it when I do that to other people, but I hate when it happens to me. So I was able to save 1 siege onager out of that batch. And then I was able to kill 1. I was able to kill 1 with it. So that made me happy. I've got 8 boyars in my castle. I was trying to cut that little tile space, but there's still 1 tree. So there we
And now
go.
the tree goes down and you go straight for his economy.
Yeah, I
Still no
realized
stable upgrades.
I realized it a little bit later. I didn't have any stable upgrades. Although
And
Ethan
he
was
was
able to
able.
plug it, which was really annoying. But there was still a tile gap between the lumber camp.
But he still was able to block you off, and now he's gonna kill all your boyars with halberdiers.
If you look at how many units he has queued up, he only has like 8, 10 units queued up. I have like 50. So yeah, he was able to clear up my boyars, but it was a distraction. I was able to win some space in the front. I didn't even see that siege ram. I guess he had a siege ram attacking my buildings.
Uh,
Must be really good placement. He's attacking 2 buildings. So this is the point where I did a unit switch. You see, I started making champions at this point. He didn't have a
yeah,
lot of
and
scorpions or siege out, so I thought, well, if we're doing straight infantry fighting, champions are far better, and there's nothing he has that can stop my champions.
yes, the champions are going to kill absolutely everything, and he's broke. He has 200 gold, 200 food. he has nothing to stop these champions with. He's sending 200 swordsmen, but they don't have that castle upgrade that gives them extra armor.
Yeah, they don't have
So,
Bagains.
and there's no way he could afford a castle.
So at this point of the game, I was feeling pretty confident. I didn't know what his resource situation was like, which is a lot worse than I expected. He is finally up to 50 farms, but he needed those farms and that food earlier. Um, I start trying to send in light cav to just raid, do some sort of havoc, get him backwards into his own base.
Yeah, you're already pretty much in his economy. He has no resources whatsoever. In all of his barracks, in each of his barracks, he had like 1 or 2 units queued, and now he has got nothing queued apart from 1 scorpion. You are at your population limit. You have almost full queues in all of your barracks, and now you are going into his economy with light cavalry. This game is pretty much over.
So it was at this point where I realized I am pop capped and he's not killing my units very quickly. So I went and killed like 50 of my villagers so I could get more military out. Because I figured I have an advantage, I may as well push it. If you look at like Fog of War from my point of view on the mini map, you can see I have teal all over his economy. I just have light cav and halberdiers everywhere. At some point soon, I'm going to start killing my villagers. And then I'm going to send in siege rams. I have 2, 5, 9, 12, 14. I have 14 siege rams queued up, but they're not producing because he's not killing my military quickly enough.
So he's down to 35 farms. He doesn't have any resources. He's trying to rebuild barracks. I don't see how that could help him. Okay, he's trying to rebuild a lot of farms in the right corner of his echo.
Ah, I see it.
But I don't think that's gonna help him because his general villager population is dropping. He
He's,
can afford 1 town center at best. He has 100 stone left.
he's got 20 idols.
We are all over his echo, and
I was feeling pretty confident at this point because, I'm all over his base and I'm still fully walled. If you look back at, like, he can't, there's nothing he can do to get into my base.
no.
I built outposts on each side of the wall. That way, if he was trying to do some sort of a sneak attack, because I would never rule those things out.
So he's down to 18 farms. He has absolutely no food. He has 28. Okay, he has 24 food. All he has got queued is a bunch of villagers and 2 halberdiers. Okay, he has queued a little bit more halberdiers and 1 swordsman. And
Here
I don't
comes
really understand why he is even trying anything at this point because it's over. He's dead.
he doesn't have much of a chance at this point. All right, if you look, I just went from 119 to 72 lumberjacks. Here comes siege rams. Here's where I was like, all right, I have the advantage. Let's push. Let's push hard. So he's down to 84 villagers to my 130. 13 farms, 50 woodcutters.
Right, and the game is over.
Yes, he did say GG, just not at that point. He was probably a little unhappy. I did talk to him after the game, and he told me he messed up in the draft. He's at because I picked slabs first because I wanted slabs for this map for this exact reason. But he said I shouldn't have let you have Teutons. He says I have no idea why I picked Bulgarians. I shouldn't have let you have Teutons. I was like, well, I'm glad that you did. Those were two of the civilizations that I wanted. I've been practicing with three or four of them, and I got two of the civs that I wanted, which really helped. He killed more units than I did, but I had the better economy and I could afford it. So I'm going to be moving on to play Alasdair. So the two of us here are going to be fighting for the finals at the end of the week. So that should be out sometime next week.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. I thought Ethan would beat me.
Were you nervous?
Oh yeah, I was shaking in the first game.
Yeah, when I was playing always in the previous round, yeah, I was my hands were shaking in the first game, and I've made a few stupid. I couldn't really think straight. He had a castle, and I had a castle at some point, and all I needed to do was to make a few. I mean, I was constantly afraid that he will make trebuchets and take out my castle, which was very important to me. But it never occurred to me that I could just make a few trips of my own and take out his castle, and then I would be safe. And that pretty much happened because I was well, because I was really nervous and I wasn't really thinking very well. So those emotions, they are not really helping there.
Yeah, and if you watch the video that I recorded for YouTube, I was like, I don't know why either player's not just making trebuchets right now because they could
Yeah,
knock down
exactly.
each other's castle.
Yeah, but that was super obvious, and I just never thought of that because I was nervous. Nervous.
Yeah. So I'll see you at the end of the week. I'm gonna end the recording. If you guys
Yep.
made it to
See
the end
you.
of this video, I'm sorry that it took so long, but that was a really good match between me and Ethan, and I kind of feel bad for beating him. I do believe he's a better player than I am, but I got better civs in the draft, and it just turned out this way. So I will see you next week.